Project portfolio management, or PPM, is the process of selecting the right work to perform at the right time. PPM also helps you decide if the work you're performing is truly aligned with your organization's strategic goals. Every organization I've ever worked with performs some form of PPM, whether it's a formal or informal practice. PPM is about improving your organization's efficiency through data collected over time to ensure your forecasts true up to actual performance. We all want to do more with less. Less resources, less time. But are you measuring it? Are you quantifying your execution against your plan? This is where a maturity in PPM can really give organizations an advantage. Where your project management methodology helps you with the how you do what you do, PPM helps you understand the why you do what you do. The benefits: less cost overruns, saying no to low value projects, better project throughput, and less project overhead.
Project visibility into planned and ongoing work is very important. It gives stakeholders, resource managers, and the organization's leadership teams a clear picture of what their resources and project expenses are in their current state. Using a pure PPM approach, a company can use systems such as Prevu to start to plan with multiple what-if scenarios. Using historical data and actual performance, a company will start to plan a lot more efficiently. The ability to plan prior to execution can give a company the edge they need to know exactly what to expect from their future. That's a great question. Forecasting without constraints on resource capacity is very simple. However, by applying the constraints of labor and non-labor capacity to the strategic plan and coupling it with the specific resource skills, an organization starts to realize what their true capabilities are. Prevu combines the ability to measure against actual capacity and planned resource changes to accommodate your company's budgetary goals. This allows the portfolio decision makers to be realistic with the number of projects the team can take on. Teams often struggle with knowing when to say no to work. The inevitable fallout results in inconsistent workloads, the potential rubber band effect to capacity, and this is caused by the reactionary growth, which often proves unsustainable in the long run. By creating visibility into the capacity gaps, resource and portfolio managers can better align project selection to strategic goals, selecting only the optimal mix of projects.
This is probably one of the most interesting questions with a surprising answer. PPM doesn't have a role in your chosen project management methodology. They're completely separate. You might ask, how can that be? Well, the answer ties back to the difference of how you do the work versus why you do the work. Whether you're agile with empowered product-focused dedicated teams or the traditional waterfall model, the approach of forming project-by-project teams with a certain rigor around a governed process, and I'd submit that most organizations do both and have a bimodal approach to their work, PPM doesn't care how you do the work. PPM focuses on if the work is aligned and prioritized with your goals, and if you're executing in a way that supports those goals. Being able to pivot or even cancel work when your performance is not what you expected it to be is a core tenet to a mature PPM practice, project management methodologies notwithstanding. Well, mature organizations practicing portfolio management will have a defined intake process where all work is vetted and scored prior to the activation of that work. Having a defined practice around project intake, understanding the value of each project, and finally aligning it to your resources and capacity, this will create the solid foundation to building and monitoring your portfolios. By coupling intake to what-if forecasting, performance tracking from your projects, financial, and time management systems, you'll start to identify patterns where your portfolios have been successful and maybe not so successful. This is where the metaphorical rubber meets the road. Empirical data telling a story, and that data guiding your future success. While it's certainly important to focus on the current state and your execution, simply tying it to your portfolio solely to project management practice, it's just not enough. Again, the story of why is often more important than just the how.
There is no software that can, in and of itself, introduce PPM into the organization. So, to successfully implement a project portfolio management solution, you must first adopt the practice and modify processes to accommodate that change. And as with any process improvement, there will always be some growing pains. In any organization, you will start to see three natural groups of people form. You're going to have your cheerleaders, they're going to be your improvement champions, really seeing that value. And you'll have the neutral folks. They're somewhat indifferent, they go with the majority rule, they're just even keel. And then there's the skeptics. They're the resistors to change. They want to fight against that change and try to take as many of those neutral folks with them as they can. So the key there is to focus your attention on the cheerleaders and allow them to drive some of that change. The neutral will eventually follow, and the resistant group will slowly shrink as they start to accept that not just as change, but as the new process. Other challenges may include the education around how PPM fits with the different methodologies and best practices within your organization.
As an organization, we believe in using planning as a tool to make your business better. When a solid portfolio is brought into focus, an organization will certainly benefit. Creating visibility into the company's talent, resources, and focusing on strengths allows us to partner with our clients and watch their businesses become more efficient and more successful. We're passionate about the power of a pure approach to portfolio management and its innumerable benefits.